Well then, I am your host, Adam Jamil.
And I'm Aaron Schroeder.
That is right.
Oh, I'm all glitchy.
And this is the Quack 12 podcast, the most official, unofficial Oregon Ducks sporting podcast on the web footosphere. And Aaron,
Yep.
we don't quite have football yet, but we got stuff to catch you up to. That is right. This is our annual Catching Aaron Up, in which we take off our off-season coats, throw it into the laundry, and put on our nearly time for football vests. Is that a good metaphor?
Yeah. I wish we had something cooler than vests.
Vests. I know. I couldn't think. I panicked.
Okay. Let's just update them. Leather vests with our what do you call it? Not tags? Your logo?
Sure.
Your logo on the back. But like in biker gangs, they call it your colors.
Your colors?
Is that what you call it?
We're a gang. We're the gang green and yellow, baby. Aaron, a lot has happened. Quite a bit has happened since we've last talked.
Yeah, I'm sure it's been very progressive around here as far as like getting shit done.
Well,
because now that I'm back, I'm going to slow this train way down, baby.
And that's your job. That's your job, my man. Well, I'll tell you this. As far as for football, hype could not be any higher, my man. Dylan Gabriel is a Heisman favorite now, our quarterback. Dante Moore behind him, still like very much vaunted. People are still excited to see him play, hopefully in blowout games while we're just destroying our competition. Our offensive line could be the best in the Big Ten, which that alone could spell some, huge victories in our future. The whole dang team's looking pretty good. There's a few little concerns, but man, this is the most talent we've ever had.
Well, it's funny that you bring up this new lineup too, because I've been running a lot of simulations, if you will.
Is that so? And in what kind of program are you running this simulations?
It's a vector 3D simulator program designed by an elite squad of developers and code monkeys, I think is what we call them in the business, because they just sit there and
NCAA 25, I believe you were talking about.
Oh yeah, that's what it is.
And I could not be more jealous. I could not.
We're trying to figure it out to get the Twitch rolling, so that'll be really good. But I'll tell you this.
Let's talk about the game, because this is honestly the biggest. Biggest news in college football. Let's talk about the game, my man.
Hit me.
Well, I'll just say, like, where we're at. I mean, Aaron's got the game because he had a PS5. I'm not really looking to buy a PS5 at this moment in my life.
You should. You should. It's because then we can play the game together on the same team.
I have even an Xbox 360 with NCAA 14, which was the last time this game came out. 14. So we've been waiting this long for a new one. It's come out. It looks glorious. I've been watching streamers play it, and it just looks so dang fun.
I'll tell you this. It's pretty good. There's a lot of nuance to stuff that I'm figuring out as far as like how you press the controller for how long, etc.
Yeah, like if you're doing a bullet kind of pass, or if you put
because everything is on meters now, so you have to heat it up, but you have to heat it up specific to, is this a lob, is this a bullet, is this a blah blah blah.
The field goal kicking looks crazy to me. It was cracking.
Dude, it took me 2 days to realize I'm supposed to hold the button down to fill up the arrow meter, because I'm just sitting there going, well, our team is great, but our kicker is ass.
Like, where's Camden Lewis when you need him?
Yeah. And so, like, missing every field goal, all the kickoffs would get to like the 35, and I'm just like, this dude is ass.
That's funny.
So then once I realized that, now they're in the end zone every time. I'm like, that was hilarious.
Big Mango. It seems fun. I want to play it, but I gotta wait a bit longer. But even watching these streams, just having a blast with like how much fun people are having with it.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's reinventing the wheel per se, but like all I need is for it to look like my, two college teams are playing against each other. It
literally is Madden. Boom, done. It's just different players. It's just Madden. And that's perfectly fucking fine for me because this is the one I've played.
Mm-hmm.
And all the different sectors of it are really cool. I've been doing all the challenges in the Ultimate Team just to learn the game.
Hell yeah. That's the way to do it.
But here's what I've discovered with playing as the Ducks. Is Jordan James just a tank?
Yes. That's the goal. Jordan James, I think, has an opportunity to like put up better numbers, have a better season than Bucky Irving. And Bucky Irving was dang good last year.
Dude, yeah, just the way the game plays. Have you ever played any sports game where the athlete's name is tied to it? And so if you play as them, you're just miraculously better than everyone.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like, because you just go, I'm just going to run it and I'm going to run it right this way. And then he goes, yep, 6 yards. Great.
Yeah.
Thanks. Now I'm going to run it that way. Blah, blah, blah. Great. Got it. 4 yards.
I mean, it's not perfect, but it's definitely a gauge of like what this game thinks of the Ducks. That is kind of the hype we're rolling with right now. It's like,
okay,
we're good,
So yeah, in these simulations, so that exact example where Jordan James is just able to roll over people was against like Boise State, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, their defense is also trash.
Mm-hmm.
But interestingly, I was like, well, what would a game look like if we played against the Longhorns?
There you go.
Not good, my friend. Tough game, hard game.
Did we lose in the simulation? Did you play or did you literally let the computers?
Oh no, I played, of course. This is the simulations because you need to have real world circumstances.
How many picks did you throw?
In the Longhorn game?
Yeah.
Maybe like 5.
I'm going to circle that as the problem.
So, and to be fair, it was like maybe the first time I ever played it. It was before I did the challenges.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I'm working on is just remembering the plays, because you know how it gives you the hot routes, like the red line one? You're like, throw to this guy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm realizing if I can just remember like 2 or 3 different plays that each have different versions, then I just go into practice and I just run the same play, practicing throwing to different people at different times.
You got it, man.
Because what I do have a bad affinity for is throwing into like triple coverage. Just be like,
that's everybody. That's truly anyone who's played the game. And I think that kind of echoes like real life college football, as in like sometimes it's just like, even though you shouldn't throw it, you're like, but what if this works out? What if my guy beats this guy?
Here's the thing is that I think the fault with the game is that they give you the red line.
Oh, sure.
Because they are focusing your brain now on like, this is your guy. And so you're going to instinctively want to throw to him because that's the button you remembered to press.
Well, you should be checking all your routes, my man.
Well, exactly. So that's what I'm doing.
Everywhere.
That's what I'm doing in practice. So I have one play that I know how to throw to 3 different people.
There you go. Do that bit by bit.
What I haven't figured out is how to do a play where it's a read option.
Yeah, you got to get that down.
Because like he'll always give it to the running back in that.
You need to push some button literally right when you are both converging. You got to get that timing down. Right when the running back,
Ah.
right when he's like reaching into your bread basket, you have to either decide to push the button and give it to him or don't push the button and run yourself. But that being said, we'll give all
You're
our
gonna
best
have to.
codes.
So
Yeah.
so
I'll come up
yeah.
to Seattle. Yeah.
Well, no, dear listeners, what we're figuring out is that we're actually going to try some Twitch streaming, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And Adam is going to join in, I hope.
Hell yeah.
And coach me through how to destroy my opposition.
I got a whistle
and we're going to figure that out. Yeah, we're going to figure out a good time to do that.
And by the way, not just listeners welcome, but watchers on YouTube welcome. And Aaron's camera's actually not tripping out. Well, it is tripping out. Aaron's camera took acid, so that's why it looks like this. It's not a technical thing. It's by design.
Yeah, I think it's actually on the made feed too. It could be when I accidentally dropped a bunch of acid on my computer.
I think that could be the issue. Aaron, as far as other news is concerned, I mean, there's plenty of it. There's plenty. I mean, let's just get into bummer mode. We don't really have to talk about this too much because it's kind of happened a little while. Away. Yeah, the player who passed away. Yeah. Absolute terrible news. It was. Yeah. I did hear that. Fortunately, the Vikings, as an organization, are being not shitty, and they're like paying his first year contract to his family. I think there's even like little bonuses and stuff. So they're like not taking this as an opportunity to be like, oh, we don't got to pay anyone. Like, it's pretty cool. I don't know if contractually they had to or whatever, but it seems like they're doing the best
the correct
thing, which is, you can't always say the NFL is going to do the correct thing. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, obviously his passing really touched the team. It happens too often, but it's like, oh, I guess we'll dedicate this season to Kyrie Jackson. It seems like there's so many deaths and sad parts, but worth mentioning.
I learned that one because my mom brought it up, and I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, it's pretty big news. And again, don't be a dick and drink and drive. It's kind of what it comes down to.
Oh boy. We're still there, huh? We're still on that. That's
I know. Ever heard of Uber? Yes. Anyways,
dude, I'm not kidding you. Look, you want to throw back a couple and have a great time? I'm all for it. Absolutely enjoy thyself because the world sucks. But rather than get behind the wheel, what I suggest, everybody try out those Lime scooters. Because I'm telling, brother,
hop on.
You can pop some wheelies on those things, and look, minimal damage if you wreck it. Nobody's gonna care. Those things are insured.
You're likely not killing someone else if you wreck your Lime scooter. That is true.
Right. Correct.
You may, be not long for this world, but yeah.
And you know what? That's just
gotta accept
how the world works.
You just gotta accept that it's your time to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of times, Aaron, we're divided on this, but this wonderful event called the Olympics are here.
Yes.
And they are fantastic. One of the craziest opening ceremonies. Literally had people on Twitter having hashtag Satanism trending because Americans could not cope with the Frenchness of the opening ceremonies.
That is interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty
but also unsurprising.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just pageantry, people. It's pageantry.
Literally. Yeah.
I tell you.
French.
Yeah. You know what? We need to set up a program where anybody who wants one can just get a passport, and then you get one free trip to anywhere else in the world.
Even Canada?
You can realize how different everyone is. If you need a ding dong test, we need to get you a passport and a.
Hey, you know what? I'm down. So there's plenty of ducks.
The French is gonna French, right?
Frenchie's gonna French. Plenty of ducks. We're focused mainly on the ducks. There's plenty of awesome storylines there, including that one guy who chopped off his own finger so he wouldn't have to miss the Olympics. But
What?
did you hear that one? It was cool. I forget.
No.
I want to say he was. I want to say he was like from Australia or some shit. I don't know. Main thing was he's a field hockey player, and they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna need to like do some surgery on your finger before you go, and you don't have enough time to like heal up and go to the Olympics, so you're gonna have to miss it." And he's like, "Chop it off," and they're like, "Okay." So they chopped it off, and he was able to get to the Olympics. Anyway, not a duck though, not a duck. Right now, I think the main come together. My finger got chopped off and I didn't even get gold. The ducks that are catching the most eyes in the Olympics are absolutely the basketball players because they're representing right now.
Okay.
Mainly on the women's side. The Sabally sisters, both competing for Germany, which is very cool to see.
Wow.
That's right. Both Sabally sisters. I thought that was very fun. And then of course, we've got Queen Sabrina Ionescu kicking ass. She's not necessarily a starter, which I think is BS. And actually, there was interesting headlines. I mean, as you remember, in the 2020 season, Aaron's frozen. It looks like he's taking the longest drag of his and ever.
No,
yeah, maybe you weren't frozen. Actually,
I wasn't frozen.
He was just taking the longest drag. You should be in the Olympics. Sabrina Ionescu, back in the day, as we know, in the 2019-2020 season, that duck team beat the U.S. women's basketball team, which was absolutely insane.
Right.
It should not be happening.
I do remember this.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. So it's kind of cool that she's then made it. But then they had an exhibition game against the other the WNBA All-Stars that did not make the team. So that included certain very famous freshmen like Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark were on that other team.
Right.
They didn't make the team. A lot of people were arguing like they certainly Caitlin Clark, but probably both of them should have made it because they're very good right away, you know, and very famous. But instead there was a few people where they wouldn't, instead with kind of age and like, you know, veteran leadership as opposed to this young talent. Well, the WNBA All-Star team beat the US team like pretty severely, actually. So that was like a little bit of a wake-up call. However, that can be a good thing a lot of the time. And right now, US women's team looked pretty freaking dominant. Won their first game, as did the Germans, Satu Sabally, kicking butt. And then for the men's team, I really loved this, to tell you the truth. Also, I should say this.
I know that Sudan gave them a run for their money. Is that correct?
Yeah, South Sudan. Well, we're talking about, if you want to talk about U.S. men's basketball, there's not a duck on that team, but they're one of the reasons why I'm so into the Olympics this year, is because it's like, you know, it's not quite the dream team because that was such a point in time and legendary people on that.
Exact way to put it. That was such a particular point in time.
You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to, like, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, fucking Michael Jordan. That's gonna be.
Oh, was he on the team too?
Oh yeah, that's why that dream team.
I'm kidding.
You get it.
I
never know.
It literally was everyone.
Yeah, everyone. Like, wow. Yeah, but this is still like, oh my God, LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant. Like, you know, there's some. I love Anthony Edwards. Is fucking amazing. He's so good.
Best in ER, dude. Also, Revenge of the Nerds didn't age well.
There you go. It did not. We can talk about that movie in next episode. Yeah. But so they've been really fun to watch and they've been very dominant. But the person who I want to talk about is a man called Dylan Brooks. Now, Aaron, we started this podcast in like 2017, so we missed the reign of like truly how great those basketball teams were, like at our true peak with like Chris Boucher, Dylan Brooks, And the rest, no, play
Boucher.
Oh, I love Chris Boucher. He's so good. From
Boucher?
Canada. Boucher, like Bobby Boucher.
Oh, I
They
thought you were
called
saying
him
bougie, and I was like, oh, he's bougie?
They called him
Bougie.
the swatter boy because he would swat balls away. Oh, you would have loved him.
Damn, you have just made me miss that I missed this. Yeah.
They were so good, dude. We were this close to winning a national championship. We got to the Final Four, barely didn't make it. But anyways, we don't really need to get into that. What I want to say is those teams were led by a very good point guard named Dillon Brooks. When he played for us, overall, he was pretty quiet. Like he would do a big celebration or like stare down a player, but was not really known as like a huge, like aggro player when he was in college. Pretty like straight laced. Like there's a moment I remember where he hit a late 3 against Duke, and like Coach K came and like talked to him like, you shouldn't hit that 3. That's poor sportsmanship. And he took it in stride. Like real. At one point there was a really bad flop that he did. Like where it was like really bad acting, and he was like, oh, and it's like that was a famous moment, like an especially bad flop. But overall, his legacy's pretty good. Good guy, really good basketball player. Then he makes the NBA, like he becomes an NBA player. And he's not elite. He's not like that elite level of basketball player, but he is a regular starter. If you're starting in the NBA, you're pretty freaking good.
Yeah.
He's a regular starter. He's overall pretty good. Just got a big contract. Like
he's about to say, what's his budget?
Yeah, no,
where's his finance at?
I don't really know.
That's what really matters.
He's rich as hell. Like, his
congratulations,
new
you made it
good.
to the seven digit.
Oh yeah,
congrats.
Easy. He is a millionaire. Like yeah, he's doing well. He just got a good new contract, and like yeah,
I thought you were gonna say car.
I'm sure he did.
Got a new car.
He got a new car, and he plays solid D. But the thing I love about this guy, okay, he has a nickname in the NBA, and that is Villain Brooks, because he may have been all mild-mannered in the college game, but in the NBA, and I truly believe this, I think Dillon Brooks is a big fan of wrestling. And I think he literally goes, I am going to be the biggest heel in the NBA. Everybody will hate playing against me. And he's not dirty off the court. I've even seen videos of like fans like, kind of surprising him and being asshole fans with like a camera in his face. And he's pretty calm, cool, collected. Like he's not a short, to get angry kind of guy or anything like that. But on the court, he is like ridiculous. Like this one game that he was playing against LeBron, as LeBron was just warming up on the court, Dillon Brooks just stood on the court doing nothing but just wide-eyed staring at him, just being like, I'm going to shut you down defensively. And he didn't do a very good job of it. But like he does these things, or like and he's on Team Canada. He's Canadian, okay?
Love it.
And Canada's pretty dang good this year. All the basketball teams, like they're saying, even though America is really like another dream team, basically.
Yeah.
All the other countries are really starting to step up their basketball playing. And like they should be able to compete a lot, like Canada, Australia, Germany, like they're pretty dang good. South Sudan, like you said, really took it to America. But Dillon Brooks, like this is how he dresses. This is how he dresses coming in the game. Tell me this guy isn't trying to be a heel. And not only that, this is his cut off jean shorts, shirtless look for all of you. And like even for the games, like the US team were being interviewed, and obviously so they had like the camera here and like they're being interviewed. Obviously the polite thing to do if you're a normal person is like, oh, someone's getting interviewed, I'm gonna walk behind the camera and he walks in front of the camera for 2 interviews for US men's team, just like looks forward ahead and just walks in front of the side. And you can tell both players like Anthony Edwards and Booker are being like, And just like, who the hell, like, they're so pissed. And like, he's doing this on purpose to get them. He's done like I think he's like hit people in the balls while he's been on the court. Like, he is,
but he's
dirty.
Not on Team. He is on Team America.
No, he's Canada.
Oh, right. Thank you.
That's why he's doing it,
right.
to like piss them off, to get in
awesome.
their heads. He fouled out the first game they played, but he did really good before he fouled out. Like, he's just, I kind of freaking
He's on another level with it.
He's on another level.
He's just having fun with it.
And it's like, it's a cringy level. Like, it is some real MJF shit, but it is awesome. It truly is.
What is MJF?
The best wrestler in the world, AEW.
Oh, you mean with the scarf?
Oh, just the general. I mean, just with the scarf. The general vibe of just like, I'm trying to be the most hated wrestler, period.
Yeah.
I love him.
Who's the other guy that talks trash? Or he doesn't really talk trash, but he's always really funny in the interviews. And he's Slovenian, maybe?
Well, I think you're probably either
Eastern European.
Luka Doncic.
No.
Are you talking about Jokic?
Yes.
Jokic hates basketball. He just has to play it to earn money, and he loves
this. Yeah, that whole concept.
Even him. He played for Serbia.
Serbia, thank you.
Serbia's pretty good too, especially with him on it. But the second they took him off the court because he needed like 9 minutes of a breather, Team USA just boom up by 30. Like, they're just an amazing team. We're the greatest country in the world. Anyways, so that. And in the 3x3 tournament, I should say this, which I haven't been able to watch, unfortunately.
3x3.
Elisa Mevius, she also Oregon Duck player. Which is cool to see.
I hate to ask, but what's the 3x3?
It's literally just a 3-on-3 basketball tournament.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yep. Otherwise, we got like a shot put player. I know I'm keeping something Ross, like Jada Ross. I'm keeping an eye on her. That'll be fun. Not seeing too many other Ducks in the Olympics as of now. But I know we got some. Certainly on track, too. I'll let you know.
Are there any Duck skateboarders?
I wish. You know what's funny is they're all like 15-year-olds, all the 20-year-old, all the skateboarders that are placing. It is a young person's game.
Do you know what I'm actually excited about for the Olympics? And it is coming in 2028. Flag football.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not. I had heard that
2028 flag football is getting introduced.
I am stoked. I am super into rugby now. Rugby rules.
That one lady is getting a lot of TikTok time on my feed.
Oh yeah.
What's her name? What's her deal?
I don't know enough for the players' names, but I've been following a lot of Olympic TikToks, and she's popping up left and right. Dude,
is rugby the new curling?
Oh no, rugby's way better than curling. It's an actual sport as opposed to a game. But LeBron holding the American flag on the front of the US ship was fucking like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in this world. You should see this
warship?
No, it was, because this is how the opening ceremonies they had. They basically were going through
the boats.
All the boats.
The ferry boats that they were on.
The American boat that LeBron was on, he was the flag bearer, because of course he's LeBron fucking James. And it was just like, I'll pull up an image of it right now. It was just a lot of people are saying the most American image since Washington on the Delaware. That's all I'm getting.
A lot of people getting photos of themselves with flags lately.
Who's this? I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, did you miss the news?
What's that?
The pew pew incident? Did you miss the big?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Okay. Yeah, so
you can't find it?
Well, I can find it, but it's all
don't worry about it.
Finding an image. I mean, it's LeBron holding the flag. You gotta check it out.
Yeah. You gotta check it out,
listeners. Well, I'll tell you another thing. You'll like this, I think.
Hit me.
So, Big Ten Media Day. We used to have Pac-12 Media Days, as you remember.
Right. Okay.
Well, that's dead, just like our old conference. No more.
That's right. And it's fine.
I guess, yeah.
Change is inevitable.
Yeah, that's
all
true.
we can do is help push it in the correct way.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the correct
like
way. But it's dead, so there's nothing we can do about it. However, we go to Big Ten Media Days. This is why I love
it. I'm for it. Get on the train, Adam. Come on, get hype.
I had
We're in the Big Ten. We're gonna take control. Everybody,
that's the goal.
don't.
That's the goddamn goal. So all the polls and stuff, all these Big Ten overlords are definitely thinking like with their old brain and being like, Ohio State, they're number one clear. Even though I think we can beat them, I think we're the better team. But Ohio State has been just ruled obvious number one. Number two is Oregon. Like there's even in Big Ten biased media who don't really want to be like, oh, the new West Coast teams. Yeah, they're going to be the best. So they don't want to say that at all. Even they're like, yeah, Oregon's clearly at least number two. So we come in here with a lot of hype. Doesn't mean anything. It is preseason, like it's just a poll. But a lot of people,
I hate to put it like this.
Let's hear it.
But the video game says that we're fourth.
Yeah, in the country.
In the country.
Yeah.
So in the Big Ten, we're second. I don't like that at all.
According to Big Ten,
exactly
media voters.
As soon as we lose a game or get any kind of interception or get a sack, they're gonna start bringing up how we don't how blah blah blah. They're coming for us, Adam.
Oh yeah,
the haters are gonna start hating, I think.
Absolutely. Well, this is the way you combat that, Aaron. I heard some people talking about
coach me up.
Like obviously, so a lot of people are getting their what's the expression? Like their feathers are getting ruffled. Yeah, there you go.
Sure, yeah.
Feathers are getting ruffled by the Ducks.
Ruffle, yeah.
Ironically,
sure,
the Ducks are the one ruffling feathers.
Dude, the video game throws shade at the Ducks. Super minimally. They literally say one of the while you're playing the game, like usually in the beginning first few plays, every so often the announcer will say, especially in the early season, he goes, a team mainly known for their flamboyant outfits or uniforms.
Probably fucking Herb Street. It's probably Herb Street.
It's the one of the first things you hear about them is like, yes, they have a lot of money.
Yeah. So a lot of people
we were born this way. We can't help it.
A lot of people are very angry because Oregon's just been winning. We're not a recruiting podcast. I freaking hate talking about recruiting. So I'm
Please, let's not.
But we are doing better than we ever had and doing better than 99.9% of the other teams.
Of course we are.
We're like literally, we're probably not, we're like on the trajectory to be like a top 5 or something like that. This is after years of us getting like top 10s and stuff. So we're really building a very talented roster and for next year too. And we're beating some teams like Georgia and LSU and Alabama and Ohio State. We're beating these teams, which are known for being the absolute best at recruiting. We're beating them for these recruits. And a large portion of it is due to our NIL funds, the fact that we're paying them.
Yeah,
and
baby.
System is in place to pay them like that. But this is the other thing. And like we even have like coaches like Georgia's Kirby Smart, who taught Dan Lanning, like famously, they're very close, and who dismantled us like a couple years ago. He is even saying like, well, we don't have unlimited funds like Oregon does. Like he's shooting shit.
Here's a question that I haven't quite thought about yet, and you probably know the answer.
Okay.
Is there a price cap on what can be? So it's like, I mean, basically, all we're doing for anybody
Wild
that
West.
hates us,
Mm-hmm.
all we're doing is entering our Yankees era. So if you
Yeah.
liked the Yankees, this is all that the same thing was. We just happen to have a lot more. We have Nike.
Well, what
Sorry.
they don't
That's the rudest thing ever I
is
said.
it would
Yeah.
be like, I don't know, what's a random baseball team that never wins? I don't really watch baseball.
Mariners.
Yeah, kind of, basically. It'd be more like if the Mariners suddenly became the Yankees. Yankees fans would not be happy with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's kind of what it's becoming, is like,
Mm-hmm.
and not only that though, but like, this is a real thing. So all this press and stuff about Oregon has unlimited money to pay their players. First of all, that's only good press for us, because it may be
Mm-hmm.
bad for like our reputation with other fans.
I mean,
But
yeah.
if you're talking about recruits, if they're like, oh, so that one has unlimited money to pay their players, I'll probably go there. Like, only a good thing in their eyes. But
You have a
also,
head coach that's saying we're building here.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not you know what I mean? You've got a coach that's like committing to you, the player.
Mm-hmm. And even Dan Lanning in his interviews is like, he's being like, we don't have unlimited. Like, if we had unlimited money, then we would actually never lose a recruiting battle. We do lose. Like, LSU just got a recruit we were trying to get,
Mm-hmm.
like it does happen. It's just super rare now, which is a crazy thing to say. And the other thing is, other schools like Texas and like Georgia and a handful of other schools, Ohio State, they do have actually more money. They have more money to spend on players. It's just
Kansas.
not Kansas.
Oh,
For
sorry.
basketball, they probably do, but not Kansas.
Oh, sure, yeah.
There's a handful of schools that have more money than us. Like, not that many, but like probably 10 or so.
Wow.
And the reason why we're still doing better than some of them in recruiting is because of all the other little things. And because sometimes they'll have more money, but the organization won't be there. Well, they'll be like, oh, we're gonna give you $1 million, don't worry. But then when the day comes when it's like, hey, I'd like to sign and I'd like to get that $1 million, they'll be like, on second thought, it's gonna be more like 800,000, and it's gonna be split up like by, like whatever. Like, they're not
Mm-hmm.
100% ready on the day of. And I think where Oregon's doing crazy good in this regard is Oregon is using Nike's organizational, like, they are the best sports sponsorers in America, and we have a really close connection to them. And so I think the infrastructure to just like, yep, you signed for Oregon, boom, 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 like, is there.
I
But not
mean,
only that,
I love how clean you put that. And we
yeah,
happen to have a connection there.
that's right. And
I mean, yeah, brother bear,
it's
you're
not
speaking to
fair.
the crowd. It's not.
No.
And every time I try to justify it, I hear myself sounding like a giant turd
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
But
But
hopefully a turd with a natty by the end of the year. I
don't
heard someone
want,
say this.
honestly, I don't
Yeah.
want that natty to come too fast because I don't want to say goodbye to Lanning, I think.
You think he'd leave? I think he'd be like,
No, I
I'm
think he's
doubling
if
down. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if he got a natty this year, I think his incentive is he's probably got a fat side bonus coming
Oh yeah.
his way.
Insane.
And so that's justification to keep sticking around. And I think if he got one in 1 year, he will go for the three-peat. He will be like, I'm getting 3 of these.
It only would get easier the next year. Like,
yeah,
if you're recruiting like better and
this
better,
already.
top 10 right now, and then you win a
Mhm.
natty, like, oh man. But
And let's get real. Temperature-wise, way nicer to practice in the Pacific Northwest. Nobody
you
wants to
better
be in
believe that
100-degree heat.
we're creating a new multi-million-dollar outdoor practice facility too, just so you know.
Nice.
It'll be able to like recreate like kind of snowy conditions and stuff like that.
No way.
Like temperature wise or something like that. Not actually.
Are you joking?
I'm not joking, as in like we're about to put in a crazy ass multi-million-dollar practice.
Because we're about to have to play in different weather scenarios, and they're like, we're gonna acclimate your bodies.
Basically, yeah.
This is where technology is?
For the Oregon Ducks football team, yes.
Bro.
The other thing though is
I don't want to look at that footprint.
so this is again, I'm glad you brought this up though. Yeah. I'm glad you brought this up because this is like, I think the other part of it, why people want to come is because we don't have we have S tier amount of money to spend on players, but not the tippy top.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
well, that's because we're building a giant practice space that can
that's
change
what I'm saying.
Climate.
Where I do think we have unlimited money actually
isn't the
facilities, technologies, and advertising. Because let me tell you this, just like the billboard we put up in New York for Bo Nix.
You know, I hate it. I hate flaunting like that. I dislike it. That's why I don't like being ranked number 2. It's the flaunt that I don't want to have. Like, no, we haven't done it. Oh yeah, baby.
Bodacious in Texas.
I mean,
other schools.
Thank God it turned out great.
Yeah, exactly. You got invited to the Heisman ceremony. Yeah. Like other schools don't do that, and they certainly. I'll tell you what they don't do, Aaron. For a little conference media get together, you certainly wouldn't, create and then send a giant version of your mascot to the lakes of Indiana.
What?
Bing, bang,
holy
boom. That is right. A giant.
Are we calling shots? Are we? What is happening here? Why are we being so aggressive?
Because we're the Oregon Ducks, baby. That is right. A version of this little rubber duck that I have on my desk, even. They just have like, what is that? Like freaking 30 feet or something like that. They just brought that to like, no one else is doing this. We're just like, hey, we're in the Big Ten. We brought this to Indiana with us and just put it in the river. Like, I think it's so badass.
I mean,
it's cracking me up, man. I love it so much.
Our villain status is pretty legit. Our villain status is pretty legit. We actively seek out being notorious.
This feels if you're right, which I think you are, and we are the bad guys.
We have to be.
This would be the year, like, in like these kind of action movies where it'd be like, oh, you went away. The good guy, for some reason, went away for like 10 years or something like that, like a sequel or something, and they come back and they're like, oh, the villain has become so much more powerful. He rules this land with an iron fist.
Yeah.
Everything that you've loved is now gone. Like, that's what it feels like the Ducks are doing. Like, we didn't break college football, but we have the most to gain from it being broken.
Well, the way I like to look at it to help me process it all is more in like a despicable me type.
Sure.
Where it really is like we have these massive laboratories.
The minions were at the opening ceremonies for Paris because they are a French creation.
Are they really?
Literally, a Frenchman made the minions. That's why Minionese includes French. And the animation studio.
I thought Minionese was all languages, right?
It is.
It's a blend of every single one of them.
It's a blend of every language, but it's
we got the good
banana. But the Minions studio, like art studio, animation studio, is in France too. So there you go. They're French.
Huh.
You better believe I was fucking stoked when I saw them in the opening ceremonies.
I mean, that's why I like to think of the Despicable Me as the franchise, the Duck franchise, because it's a lot easier to stomach. Because I love Despicable Me and the Minions. Minions are the best.
They're bad guys.
I mean, yeah, we are minions. Look at us. We are 2 minions.
I feel like we're the minions. We're the minions of the team. Like,
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. If you look at it as a construct, what's his name? Has giant machines where he changes stuff so that he can like take over the world.
So Phil Knight is Gru, is what you're saying?
No, the amorphous franchise that is the Oregon Ducks, because of how we get our technology. The fact that we just low-key leave these ominous, menacing ducks in ponds next to other stadiums.
You know what I have to say to that, Aaron?
What's up, baby?
Banana.
Yeah, I'm for it. It's unfortunate that that's the way it is, but in every aspect, there's something to poke at because we're the bad guys.
We are the fuck. I'll
and that's
admit it,
fine.
dude. If it
That's
means we get
fine.
a natty, I'm down. That's
Yeah,
what it comes down to.
it's fine.
It's fine. By the way, it really feels like they're circling the wagons, being like, this is the year we're winning the natty because we've got some Joey Harrington coming back, introducing. We're doing some throwback uniforms with the classic block O, which I fucking love.
Ooh, I got a complaint about the video game.
What's that?
They don't have your favorite uniform.
Oh, the duck one? I wish you could unlock it. If you could pay for it, I would pay for it. Which they should. That'd be
There's only like 3 uniforms for me to choose from. It's really ridiculous.
I hope that you can pay for more, because that just seems like easy money. You know what I mean? And that's
I would never pay for more, though. This is something that used to come with the game.
Well, I'd be down with, like, you can either grind and unlock uniforms if you play 1,000 hours, or if you want to be, a hot shot and just pay us $5 right now, you can unlock all, because I like that kind of transactional stuff more than if you pay us money, you'll be better at the game. That stuff makes me furious. It makes me want to not play video games.
I do want to say, though, just to help you out, it's not really called grinding anymore, Grandpa. It's called sweating.
Is that really? Is that true?
Yeah. I think in Fortnite you call it sweating, where you just work real hard. You're sweating.
You almost said grind. I fucking hate this world. That's all I gotta say.
It's just language, and I love it. It's the
fucking
best.
hate this world.
Have you?
You know what pisses me off about? Have you seen
the level that Skibbity Toilet? Have you seen the level Skibbity Toilet has reached? It's
what are you fucking talking about? What did you just say to me?
Do you not know Skibbity Toilet?
No.
Oh boy. We'll talk about that off.
I'm not young like you.
That's a whole situation. The
other thing, the thing that pisses me off about the younger generation is how they'll be like, this food slaps. This food's fire.
Yeah, dude.
This food, and it's just, there's one more too, and it's like,
but that's
like 3 different slang words for like, is tasty,
good,
or is good. I'm like, come on, y'all. Come on.
How many words did Shakespeare invent? They probably said he was a cuckoo banana bird, but now look at him.
It's true. You got me there. By the way, Bryce Betcher
is a Shakespeare. We just haven't seen him yet.
Bryce Betcher.
Never heard of him.
He was a football player / baseball player. We didn't talk about baseball that much. A little while ago, he got the Golden Glove, and not only that, but he got drafted into the Major League Baseball. And
wow,
I think they're still going to let him play football, which is pretty cool.
Holy shnikes. We got a little Russell Wilson on our hands.
Yeah, no joke. I would be like, no, I'll just be a baseball player. Thank you. But pretty cool that he's down.
Baseball seems like the lower effort, but lower paying.
Yeah.
Body on the line and bigger bucks, or
then NIL college money. I don't know. Like, it's probably like, he's not getting paid enough that he should turn down another year of NIL probably. But I don't know. I think he just loves football too. Oh, Aaron.
Amazing.
We got a new basketball court. Did anyone tell you that?
No, but I really thought that was going somewhere else, because basketball almost sounds like something great.
Basketball. What did you think I was going to say?
Coach.
Oh,
we got a new basketball.
We fired Kelly Graves. No, I'll tell you.
We were about to. Yeah.
Like, there's a lot to be said about that, and we'll have a full
the new
episode.
Court. You hated the old one. Now we got a new one. I hope you're happy.
I did hate the old one.
I loved it. Let's see this beautiful beast. Come on.
Yeah.
Give me this thing.
I got a new one here.
Hit me with this new slab.
Hit me with your best shot of the new court.
See, the cool thing about the old court was that it obviously was a beautiful shot of trees looking up at the sky. But when you were zoomed in close, it looked like an old weathered court where it just gave a different feeling that I thought was really great. It was a beautiful piece of artwork.
Well, I think
and then to learn that
I think you're gonna hate this, honestly.
do
If
you
that's
like
what
this new one? Is it like hard green and yellow so that we can track the players better?
Yes, I will say it's almost less that I love this new one, and it's more like I just hated the old one so much that I
Wow.
was like, good.
I'll take anything.
Yeah, like honestly.
Have they changed the lighting? Because like Arizona lighting, I can't do. It's you know what I'm talking about, where it's just very bright and
Is that a style of lighting?
yeah. Have you ever, just the color of their like the brightness is like that harder white color. You know, they don't have any soft oranges.
Interesting.
It's very harsh. You know what I'm talking about? Never mind.
I don't know. But but okay, I finally
Let me see this court.
I'm trying to
I
build
can't
it
keep
up.
stalling. I'm trying to stall.
I can tell. Okay, I got it here. I got two pictures. Two pictures. Boom. Here's a terrible picture of the middle of it, but here's the full one. Boom.
Okay, so the trees still exist.
Trees still there. They're green. I like that.
This is worse, actually.
What?
This is the same idea, but completely diluted to the point of not even being concernable as water.
It's not supposed to be water. Well, one thing I don't like, one thing I truly
the pit.
The pit.
Okay.
The pit. I don't like the complete, like, it feels lazy to me, the green outer edge of the court.
That's what I'm talking about.
It feels like a like if I was doing a PowerPoint presentation in like middle school, it kind of feel, and I just like filled stuff out on the page. I don't like it. That I don't like. But
I mean, why couldn't they do what we did with our background? Look at that. If they would have just taken our design and put it around the basketball court, that would be more exciting.
I'll take it one step further. What if it was this around the basketball court?
I mean, I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say no. It's perfect if you ask me.
A bunch of Quack 12 logos.
Yeah, it's just what they flattened it. They made something that had a depth to it and they flattened it out and made it look like a business card.
Yeah.
It looks like whoever Matthew Knight is really proud of his arena and he wants to give you his business card.
Matthew Knight is Phil Knight's son, by the way.
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to say that it looks like a business card.
It does look like a business card, and it looks like a pretty badass business card, though. I would love this business card.
Okay, I'm glad that I have to say, because I know that your roots go deeper, I'm gonna be happy that you like it, but I do think they flattened it.
I like that there's not a bunch of brown streaks on a court for a team whose colors are green and yellow. I like that it's green.
Yeah. Is it fair to say that Eugene is still deep in the woods?
I wouldn't really like, especially that's like there's some schools out there that are actually deep in the woods. I don't know if I would say Eugene is. We are in the woods.
See,
like, more
this
so
new
than
design. Yeah, this new design really makes all the words pop out. And I'm like, if we're gonna do that, we should maybe update the language here because this feels not correct.
Nearish to the woods, not a far drive away from the woods, is what I should say.
Honestly, I don't care what the design is as long as the players feel comfortable on it, because let's get real, it's gonna feel a bit different, I bet.
Oh, I'm sure it will. But I'm liking it overall.
Does that job take, do they have to replace all the wood, or is it literally just some kind of varnish that they're doing over
you
wood?
Take off the, you just like I was watching.
Sand it all down, paint it, and cover it. Okay.
That's what it seems like. I don't know if it's technically a sander, but by the end of it, it really looked like they just sanded that shit off.
Okay. Gotcha. What a trip. What a great job. I would have volunteered to do that. Play with
That
big
would be
machines.
fun. That would actually be really fun. There's been days because I was, painter for a little bit in Seattle. And there were days where it's just like, oh, for the next 4 days, we will be sanding. And that was not a bad stretch to work. It was pretty fun. Pretty basic, So,
I mean, yeah, you're like, just got to sand this down. I'm going to put in my headphones. I'll see you in 6 hours.
That's exactly what it was, especially because it was like, well, you should definitely get your headphones because you can't even hear people regardless. It was a blast, and I loved it, and I kind of wish I still did that job, but no, because I don't want to be a regular ass painter. Aaron, I think that's really, I'm looking through all these saved headlines I got. That's really all I got.
Did we talk about football at all besides the game?
Literally,
I guess
all we got to talk about football is like the hype is insane. The hype is truly insane. We do have a hard schedule. We can wait to talk about that when we make our actual predictions episode.
Okay.
We're going to be traveling
it light and loose. I have to say I applaud you for making sure that the episode designed to get me up to date was smaller building blocks, so that way as we progress I can build on information.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot that happened and such. The women's basketball team is almost completely new because, as you know, there was like 4 key transfers out, and so we just have to.
Did I know that?
You knew about the transfers out because I was being like, "We're doomed, we're doomed, we're doomed."
That was back in March or something. Maybe.
Yeah, we have some interesting transfers that could, do well for us, but we'll have to see because like that doesn't seem to be Kelly Graves's.
Yeah, we'll see what our coaching style is this year.
Yeah, yeah. But Aaron, I'm stoked as hell. We're almost there. It's almost time to beat up on Idaho and Boise State and Oregon State.
Huh. Great. I mean, I'll tell you this. I'm having a hell of a time in the video game. Hell of a time. Some of these teams are like, oh shit, they score touchdowns.
Hell yeah. Oregon.
So it has me slightly worried.
I still think you should have a whole season as a fullback. I think that would be a very funny thing
we're definitely doing that. That is a for sure thing that's going to happen.
I love it.
Okay, did I have any questions for you about the sports? I don't think I did. I think I'm good.
Well, let's just say this. I'm rooting for this man in every game except for going against Team USA.
I would not be surprised if we see that man show up at WrestleMania next year. It seems like an obvious. He's pushing, to get his, as we were talking about off mic, celebrity.
Yeah.
You got to get that celebrity moving and shaking.
I think he's going to be a professional wrestler after he's done with basketball.
Or at least tag team cameos.
Yeah.
With
Shaq style.
Jake Paul. Paul.
Oh, I hope not. Don't put that evil on him. Aaron, it's been a blast. Boy. Next week we'll have more to talk about. But until then, quack, quack.
Quack, quack!